y'all, this is your girl Whitney Bonds, and if you're planning a trip to Legoland in San Diego, I have a list of top attractions that you do not want to miss. There is so much to do at Legoland, but these are the things that you want to know beforehand, especially tip number 1 that I want to give you guys. Now, I'm always talking about ways to make money on my YouTube channel, but I also want to show you guys how to live. So if you're looking for your next family vacation spot, this is it. Legoland is filled with more than 60 kid-powered rides, shows, and attractions, all built for fun. It is a perfect park for kids ranging from 3 to 12 years old, in my opinion, and us parents too, just to see the smiles on their faces. Now, as you walk in the park, when you arrive, you're gonna need to go through security, but it's important to note that you can bring in your own food and drinks. That's what we did. I had a bag full of snacks, water bottles, Capri Suns, apple juices, just to eat throughout the day to save on costs. Now, I want to show you some of the top spots to eat so you could get a good idea of the prices to help you plan ahead. And this right here is called the burger spot. And what I want you to do when I'm showing you these different restaurants is anything that you think you might want to try, go ahead and pause this video and write down the prices just to help you plan accordingly. Now, this is the restaurant called Pizza and Pastas, and it's a buffet, and it's a good price because it's unlimited pizza and pasta. Now, the Burger Kitchen was a top spot that I read about online, so this is definitely a place if you're into burgers you might want to try out. Now, everything ramen is everything, it's in the name. It's literally a pasta place. And here again are the prices where you can go ahead and just take a pause if you're interested in a restaurant like this. Now, this place was so good. We went here twice. So this is a place where you can get churros, and this was the most affordable place in the park where you could get churros. So I highly recommend you go to this one if you're interested. Now, Chicken Crown, oh my gosh. The food was so good, just good quality food. Now, it was chicken tenders and fries. That's all pretty much they had. And what we did was that my husband and I, we shared a big one, and I let the kids share one, and it was enough for all of us. So if you're into chicken tenders and french fries, definitely check out this spot. Now, Build and Race was a place where you could build, test, and race your own Lego Ferrari. This was a spot that all my kids enjoyed. Now, I have a 3-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 7-year-old, and I was really surprised that we spent so much time here. We spent almost an hour here, and we had to drag them out to say, come on, let's view the rest of the park, guys. So definitely a spot that you want to take your kids. My 5-year-old girl, she was loving it. She just stayed right here playing with the Legos and just building things because you built your own car and then you could race it. It was so cool. And my 7-year-old, he was just showing my daughter on how to do all this stuff because he learned it because he kept doing this over and over and over again. It was so cool for the whole family. And then, welcome to MINILAND. This place was amazing. This is the world's first Lego city of San Diego, and it's now open in MINILAND, USA. And it features the best landmarks and iconic structures in America. You know, I just wanted to stay here and take in all the detail because it was just, they did an impeccable job. And it is why this is one of the must-see attractions at Legoland. Next was FUNTOWN Police and Fire Academy. Now, this was such a cool thing. I've never seen anything like this before. And because I'm so competitive, I really enjoyed my family going against other families. And of course, watching them win was just the best part. So what you do, basically, you race to go to the finish line to go ahead and hurry up to put out the fire the first. So it's a little race, and we know we get a little competitive, but it was so cool to see. So I highly recommend this as one of the must-see attractions at Legoland. Next was the junior driving school. Now this was the cutest thing, and it's ages 3 to 5, and they also have another one for ages 6 to 13. Now the kids are in total control of driving the vehicle, and you can see here that is why my son, Miles, at 3 years old, kept crashing. He didn't know what he was doing, but it was so cute to see. And the ages of 6 to 13-year-olds, they had their own track, and oh my gosh, look how nice this is. Like, this is completely set up for them. And at the end, I bought them licenses. They got their own license with their picture on it, and it was just the cutest thing. Now, these were kind of costly. They did cost $25 per license, but it was a little cheaper for every additional kid that I bought one for. But if you're into memorabilia like this, I say it's worth it. If you're not, if you're just gonna just toss it and never see it again, I probably forego getting a license. DUPLO PLAYTOWN is the cutest play area for the kids. Now my 3-year-old and 5-year-old, they stayed here for an hour and they wanted to stay longer, but I'm like, you guys, we gotta go continue to see the park. You know, they play with these DUPLO Legos, but to be able to be in them, these life-size DUPLO Legos was the coolest, and they loved it. So I highly recommend this as a must-see place for your toddlers. And then there was the water park. So we had the 2-day hopper where we spent the first day at the park, and then the second day we were at the water park. So it was just a nice enjoyable time where we were able to focus on all the water rides the next day. And the nice thing that we were actually staying at the Lego Hotel, so we were able to bring our towels from the hotel and then bring them to the water park and then leave them there when we were done. Now I love this water park so much. It literally had everything down to the sand, and a lazy river where my kids just went round and round for almost an hour. So this was definitely just a topping to our whole experience at Legoland. It's a must-see attraction if you are going to be at the park. Next are the rides. Now this is the COASTASAURUS, and what I loved is that my 3-year-old could get on it. I love Legoland for that very reason, that my 3-year-old could have so much fun just with his older siblings as well. Now the line did get pretty long, so I highly recommend doing the rides first and making sure they go to the potty before you get in these long lines, because I mean, learn from us guys, it's not really ideal. But my 3-year-old son, he loved this ride so much. This was the COASTASAURUS, and you got to go on it twice. And my 7-year-old, he was just loving it too, because there was a big dip. He kept saying this drop. There was a big drop.
Oh my God.
And then the next ride we went on was the Lost Kingdom Adventure. Now this ride was just okay, but what I loved about it more is that we got to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So while I waited in line, my husband took the kids to another ride, and they were able to do that. And then after they got done with that ride, we opened the little gate that they have where you can play and just do other things. And they came back right in line with me. So this was just really cool. The setup is where the kids just don't have to sit in line all day, which is what I love. And the ride was cool because you were armed with laser blasters where you get to battle mummies, skeletons, snakes, and more for the treasure of the Lost Kingdom. Next is the dragon. Now I didn't ride this one, but my husband and 7 and 5-year-old did, and they loved it. Now they didn't want any phones out on this ride, so we couldn't film, but this ride is one of the top rides at Legoland, and it's both indoor and outdoor, so it's really cool. Next was the Lego TECHNIC coaster ride, and this one was filled with twists and turns and nice drops that made this ride so much fun. And my daughter, my 5-year-old daughter and my 7-year-old son, we rode this one together and we loved it. It had a lot of surprises that I was not even prepared for. Like the drops, they definitely were there. So my 3-year-old was not tall enough for this ride, but they had these awesome play areas right next to the ride where he was still able to enjoy and have a really good time and not get too sad about not being able to be tall enough for those rides. EMMETS Flying Adventure is the best ride at Legoland. We did this 3 times. My 7-year-old son was in love with it. Now my 3-year-old, he was a little sad because he wasn't tall enough for the ride, but after I explained that we can just go on this other ride right across the street, he was so excited, so that didn't last long. And we just did the good old classic carousel, and we were just having a real good time. So that's just what I love about Legoland. It's something for everyone. And right next door was this awesome park where my son just went up and down the slide and had a really good time, not thinking twice about his other siblings. So this is what I'm gonna say it again and again. Legoland is the best.
Amazing! Amazing!
Oh wow!
Next is that I really highly recommend, if you guys can afford it, is to take advantage of the awesome opportunity to be at the Legoland Castle Hotel, or even the other one they have. We stayed at the Castle Hotel and it was completely themed and the kids loved it. They got surprises every day and it was just such a great time. I mean, the pool was amazing. My husband and I got to lay out, kids had life jackets, the park. This is the park inside the hotel area. I mean, it was just completely decked out. It was a kid's paradise. So much for even the parents to enjoy. They even had a movie theater area. It was just such a great time where we really enjoyed ourselves. And shows every single night. It was just, this is made a kid's heaven, okay? And let's not forget the food. Free breakfast every single day. And this is not your typical hotel free breakfast. I mean, look at this stuff. And last but not least, this is my final tip about Legoland, and it's a money-making one. So if you're staying at a hotel, you can ask for a lanyard for free, or you can pay for one at the park. And basically what you do is the kids ask team members at Legoland walking around if they have any badges for them to add to their collection. The coolest part is that one of these badges are worth money. It's like a hidden treasure. You have to ask for Mr. Gold, but more specifically, you have to ask the team member if they have seen Mr. Gold. And this is literally gold. Like, you can actually sell this on eBay for $125. Or you could use this to redeem skip the line tickets or prizes at guest services. Now, we didn't get that many because we just weren't that committed, but many people make this a thing and they try to collect them all. Now, overall, Legoland is just a great experience that I highly recommend you guys try. I was able to be a kid again, and this is just what I needed myself. Legoland San Diego is the perfect place for your next family vacation.